welcome to your reading. We're going to do a really quick one, and it's made by a friend of mine called Alicia, so we're calling it the Alicia spread. Current situation, 7 of Cups. A bit up in the air. This particular illustration is interesting because you've got the new moon and lots of cups with green foliage in them and some spires in the background. So it's kind of fun. You're being held aloft by your imagination in a way. You can see, but there is always, with the 7 of Cups, the implication of a bit of confusion. So that's the current situation. Current expectations. The world. That's lovely. So your expectations are that you are growing something new again. A bit up in the air with this energy. You're going to see the sun coming any minute now. A bit up in the air, but it's lovely. I mean, the world is... So you really want to put yourself in the centre of the world. And there's a sense of trying to grow something new with this card. The unexpected. The unexpected. Okay, what is it? Is the 7 of Cups. I'm so sorry. This was the 8 of Cups. That's strange. I sort of pre-saw... God, how bad is my eyesight now? So, your current situation is the 8 of Cups, which is walking away from what you've... Oh, there's the sun. Walking away from what you've always loved without throwing it... In this card, it's almost buoying you on to your next endeavour. So it's about changing things up, walking away, reinventing them without trashing the past. Your expectations to be the centre of your world, to start growing something new, and then the card I pre-saw, weirdly, the unexpected is a bit of confusion with the 7 of Cups. There's going to be a sort of point where you're not quite sure what to go for. Okay, that's interesting. That's the unexpected. This is the advice, which is the moon, which is just tolerate the confusion, delve deep into that nighttime vision, and sit there and try and gain some insights from it, where it's all going. The star, God, how lovely. So you are getting your bright hopes and dreams, but there's a sense in which, because I pre-saw the 7 of Cups and then it came up, and the reason I saw it in this card, obviously, is because they're all up in the air, as the 7 of Cups usually are. So I can see there's confusion, and that things are a little bit floaty and kind of in your mind. And so if we look at all these figures, this one, she's up in the air. This one, she's up in the air again, head held aloft. This one, she's got her back to us, so we can't really focus on her that much. This one, her face is changed from a face to a moon, and then where we end up with this lovely looking straight at you star. So it starts to sort of solidify. I'm just going to take 1 second to look at the sun. Oh. So bright. I don't know when my eyesight's going funny, but it used to be that you could look at the sun as it came up without it damaging your eyes. I don't know that that's true anymore. Anyway, let's cap these cards. So, the 8 of Cups talk to us about the current situation for Aries with the 8 of Cups. We've got the 2 of Swords. So there's a decision that you've been mulling over somewhat, and that is about moving on. So something that maybe you've been thinking about that's starting to get a bit urgent, not urgent, but that you've got to take the decision on, is pushing you to move forward. And then the world, with their current expectations, being in the centre of their world, King of Wands, yeah. I'm talking to a very fiery, accomplished, creative individuals who are used to getting everything just right in your life, or not just right, you're used to creating in your life. And so, of course, your expectations are for this to grow, and rightly they will with the King of Wands. And then talk to us about the unexpected with the Seven of Cups. We've got the Sun. It's lovely just as it comes up there behind us. In fact, if I do that, I wonder whether you can see it. Maybe I'll move out of the... No. Anyway, not here for the sunrise. Right, so the Sun with the Seven of Cups. So, because I was talking about it being kind of blinding, and this, she's got one eye covered by the swift or the swallow. Maybe there's a sense in which it's a bit blinding what you're going for. There's a sense in which the heat of the manifestation and your ability to sort of move forward positively is almost, there's a kind of moment of sort of stunned glare in a way that makes it feel as if you don't know which way to go next. Maybe there are so many options with what's ahead of you that you're a bit kind of overwhelmed by them. And then the advice being the Moon. Let's see, some advice for Aries and the Moon. The Ten of Cups. So it might be around relationships. Look at all that's going on under the surface there. And is there the advice being, stay in the mystery of your relationship, stay in the space where the relationship, sorry, I'm just feeling myself into this one, but stay in, there's almost like this sort of hidden thing within your family happiness that you don't want to puncture. So it's advice, it's saying, allow things to evolve through the darker times for the collective, for the good of the collective happiness or something. So it's not trying to be too definitive, that it's okay. Maybe there's some information that's coming through your manifestation, through the Sun, that needs that needs you just to sort of receive it. Because look at how this Moon is got her hands up. There's a sense in which she's receiving. It doesn't feel so confused. It feels more like a kind of nighttime. I mean, are you dreaming about relationships? Are you dreaming about your happiness? Is that what you need to receive? And oh God, where it's going. God, this is really nice. So you've now got the Star and the Empress. Wow. Feels, Aries, like you're going somewhere really very divinely feminine, beautiful, creative, incredibly creative space that is aligned with your highest wishes, which is so beautiful. Something gestating there. Maybe someone is having a baby. Right, I'm going right back to the beginning again. So current situation, Eight of Cups, which needs us to move on from something, with the Two of Swords, which is feeling like you're going to have to make a decision, and now the Ten of Wands, a sense of kind of overwhelm and obsession in work. It's the Minor to the Devil. So is it that you've been overdoing it somewhat at work? Maybe this is what it's about. That you need to put more time into your family, because we can see that all your people around you, those that you would make you happy, because there's something a bit overburdened about work. That's interesting. So your current expectations with the World and the King of Wands. The Chariot. Yeah. So it feels like you are probably, this might well be about work. There's a sense in which things are quite fast and furious, and you're expecting it to carry on like that because, after all, you're the King of Wands. You get things done. You're the centre of your world. You bring things to culmination, and so you're expecting to keep going in that very sort of fast, furious, kind of mythic quest type energy. But the unexpected with the Seven of Cups and the Sun, being sort of blinded by the sun and all these options, and then the Queen of Swords. Well, she's not going to get blinded by anything. But so the unexpected is that you suddenly are faced with lots and lots of choices in this manifestation, in this moment where you're very full of fire and getting things done. But we can see you've got the Queen of Swords at your side. She can make really good logical decisions. She can be steely in the face of emotion that can get a bit much. And so she's a very good ally. So you will know what to pick. You will be able to say it like it is and make the right course. And then the advice being the Moon and the Ten of Cups. So allowing something watery and nighttime to sort of inform this personal life. And then we've got the Nine of Wands. Yeah, it's about boundaries. The Nine of Wands has learnt his lesson around overdoing things or boundaries being crossed. He's battle weary in a way, and he now puts up defences. He can be a bit overly defensive, but I think it's almost like saying there's so much kind of yangy creative energy with your King of Cups, your Chariot, the World. Though the World is a bit more balanced, certainly the Ten of Wands is a bit overwrought. And then all this Sun energy, which is the unexpected, that's something coming to fruition and it feeling a bit overwhelming. And which way do I go? How do I make choices now? Because I've got quite a lot of offers. But you've got your Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords, who can make those choices. And so now the advice is, in order to sort of balance the true happiness, is stay somewhere, get your boundaries involved with the Nine, and stay somewhere. And the Moon is the 18, its card is the 18, which is 2 nines as well. So stay somewhere, allow there to be space that's hidden and quiet and a bit less defined and a bit more connected to the subconscious. And that will create the boundaries that you need for a happier life. And then where it's all going, to the Star and the Empress and the Six of Cups. Wow. Something really happy coming for you. I mean, it's kind of harking back to that soulmate, that sibling energy. Something really peaceful. All of these cards to me feel very healing. The Empress is obviously the great nurturer. The Star is about healing after the Tower. So it's about getting back in our right relationship to what we need and want in life after a bit of a disruption. But it's deeply healing and lovely. And then the Six of Cups just feels so innocent and pure. So this is really lovely. If you can bring on board some quieter yin type energy, I think that's what the cards are saying. And then one final card, which we're going to bring from the Mystical Moments Oracle, which is a little sort of sum up, hopefully. So talk to us about Aries, sunrise people. Oh, that's too many. Well, the one that's come out at front is Liberty, which was, that's turned upright. What were the other two? The Sea Witch and the Gift. Okay, well, we might return to those, but I think the one that was the right way up is called Liberty. Let's read that. It's interesting because it's got all this nighttime energy behind her that's kind of fueling her in a way. So it's a bit like that moon scene, that you're going to be fueled by something at night, something hidden, something unconscious. Choices, confidence, letting go, self-determination. This card shows a woman standing in profile. A birdcage hangs from her hair and she's about to release her winged friend into the night. The stars and the moon are guiding the little bird's way. The woman has plucked a special star from the sky to help shepherd the bird's journey. This card stands for the freedom that you have to choose your own way in life. Don't let others decide for you. You have the power to liberate yourself from both external and internal cages. Many of the obstacles we face are the ones we create ourselves. Once we realize we've created them, we have the power to release them. It's so lovely. It does feel like saying, yeah, because look, and it goes to your star, and here she has the stars, and she's releasing some part. It feels as if there's a part of you that needs to have the freedom of the unconscious of the moon. And let's just look at that once more. Your cages, anything that you, and it is quite interesting here with the unexpected, is the sun with the bird slightly blinding her. There's some inner part of you that wants to get out and be more expressed, even though you're really good at getting on with life. There's something else that needs to be heard. And in the face of all your productivity, needs to be released a little bit. And it's saying, many of the obstacles we face are the ones we create ourselves. You have the power to liberate yourself from both external and internal cages. So there's some part of you that needs to get free, and it then takes you to this really happy space where the boundaries that you put with that Nine of Wands that stop. Maybe it is that work's very, very demanding, and that you need to release some of those demands, even though you're really good, to allow this person inside of you, this bit of inside of you that's kind of related to something quite young, but that will bring you great happiness and sort of fulfillment and a sense of nurturing. An inner child, in a way, with the Empress here and the Six of Cups, that needs a bit of healing, that needs not always to be the one that's yangy and getting things done, because you're great at that. You will make the right choices, but that voice also needs to be heard. See you again.